I gave him like 60 or something, 70, he's screaming for more. There's quite a bit, like 20 left, he started screaming. I put it, he started pulling.
Okay, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. Before we start the new hadith, the last hadith we discussed that about Abu Huraira radiallahu ta'ala anhu requesting from a we thought maybe the one of Muslim listen. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we were discussing the hadith of where Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu, the certain companions, and they were not Sahaba Ikram, they were Tabi'in. They were going to pass by the Masjid al-Ashar in Ubulla, right? Remember? And he requested of them to perform 2 rakat salat on his behalf. So we said here we've got a strong, a bombastic proof to say that Isalu Thawab is permissible even with A'male Badaniya. Inshallah, this will come as you'll do it as a detailed discussion at a later stage. It will come in your sabak, inshallah. But that whatever good deed you do, to such an extent, there's so much scope in this masla that even if you engage in sunnat acts, even if to such an extent in the Hanafi madhab, even if you engage in faraz acts, right, you can convey the reward of that to the deceased. So why let it go to waste? Even if you give a sandwich in charity, which is unanimously accepted. So giving a sandwich in charity, giving some, except that you can convey that reward to badaniya. These are. Ya Allah, send this to my parents, send this to my grandparents, so you can send it to as much people as possible that you want to. Okay, read the next riwayat, inshallah. But as I said, there will be a detailed discussion of this will come later on. If we don't touch it in Mishkaat Shareef, then we'll definitely following year in Sayyid we will do it in detail, inshallah. And this is one of the silent features of us, the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, that you can convey the reward to the deceased. Read the next hadith, inshallah. سيدنا حذيفة رضي الله تعالى عنه قال كنا عند عمر فقال أيكم يحفظ حديث رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قلت Okay, stop there. So the next hadith, remember I told you people before, I mentioned to you, first year, second year, third year is to perfect your Arabic. Once you come to fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, there's no time to correct your Arabic. Then the focus is on the explanation of the hadith. The focus on the explanation of the fiqh. So if you never correct your Arabic, you never learn to read properly in the first years, you miss the boat, my friend. You miss the boat. And we don't have time. I don't have time to teach you now what's a file, what's a fool, what is a yam and a kusa, what's it alif maksura, all that type of things. If you never learn it in your first 3 years, tough luck. Tough luck. You missed the boat. You can go back to first year and learn it again. Now we're concentrating. That's why we impress on the students. Tell them, look here, this is your time to learn now. What's the file? What's a maful? What's the jar majura? Once you come third year, fourth year, fifth year, there's no time for that. There is no time for now. We're going to concentrate on the text. Right? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. رأيت وأن شقيق ابن حذيفة رأيتنا أثارتي. That's a very interesting hadith. رأيتنا أثارتي الشقيق بن حذيفة قال كنا عند عمر. We were by عمر رضي الله عنه. فقال أيكم أحفظ حديث رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Which one of you? This hadith, it's so many different important things. Let's discuss. I'll try to touch on all of them for you, inshallah. أيكم يحفظ حديث رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Which one of you people remember the hadith of Rasulullah fil fitnati was regards to fitna. Now, we discussed in the beginning, fitna means a test, a trial, a tribulation, something where your iman is tested. Somewhere you are tested how resolute, how firm you are with regards to your deen. Will you weather the storm? Or will you capitulate? Will you buckle in? Or will you buckle into what is happening around you? So that's what fitna means, I told you, right? So, فقال أنا أحفظ كما قال. So this Sahabi, which was Hazrat Shaqiq ibn Hudayf, I said, look, I remember. Right? I remember. فقال هاتي إنك لجريء. Bring it. You say, you know it, bring it. Interesting thing, you see, he said, I almost said, إنك لجريء. Why did he say إنك لجريء? I'll tell you why he said إنك لجريء. If you notice something, you will find the senior Sahaba Ikram, they got very few narrations. Look here, just think about it logically. As Umar, as Abu Bakr, as Uthman, as Ali, they spend the most time in the company of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Nobody spent more time than them. That's why when you look at the hadith, you will always find, as Nabi Sallallahu saying, Ana wa Abu Bakr wa Umar, Ana wa Abu Bakr wa Umar, Ana wa Abu Bakr. Even look here, in the Battle of Uhud, when Abu Sufyan, that time he was a Muslim, he wasn't a Muslim, he was calling out Fa'ina Muhammad. So that time Nabi Sallam didn't want to give his location because they were still on the back foot. They kept quiet. Then he said Fa'ina Abu Bakr, Fa'ina Umar. Even he, the enemy of Islam, even he knew that the people that are with Nabi Sallam is Umar and Abu Bakr. And what the Shia want to say? They want to say these people turn out. Even the non-Muslim recognize that Abu Bakr and Umar are the close companions of Nabi Sallam, but the Shia don't want to recognize. So the non-Muslim, if they was non-Muslim, the enemy of Allah Ta'ala recognizes that they are with Nabi Sallam, but they don't want to. But anyway, the point I would like to make is this here is they were with Nabi Sallam all the time. So how come you don't find so much hadith? A lot of explanations, but one of the explanations is that they were very concerned about the warning. Man, was it that man كذب علي متعمدا فليتبوأ مقعده من النار. They were afraid that if they make a mistake in narrating something, if they make a mistake, you're trying to tell me they don't know the hadith, you're trying to tell me they never memorized the hadith. So it was there what you say, kamalul istiyaf. It was extreme caution. That's why it's mentioned also that it one says as Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he had a whole collection of hadith and he burnt it out. He burns out. Why he burned it out? Because he was afraid that he must not be guilty of attributing something to Rasulullah which is not authentic. So this is one of the reasons. And another thing is, as Umar was very, very strict, his nature, I tell you, la yakhda'u wa la yakhda'u, was a stern person. There's somebody to narrate something, say, who's your witness that Nabi said this? You say, is there anybody else that Nabi said some? They heard also, are you taking a chance? And then, if you couldn't bring a witness to say that somebody else also narrated this here, then you would lash that person. They say, don't take chances with regards to narrating from Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You must be certain. So he says, Innaka la shari'un. You are very brave just to say you know. قال يسأل وكيف right إنك وكيف قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول فتنة الرجل في أهله وماله ونفسه وولده وجاره يكفرها الصيام والصلاة والصدقة والأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. So yeah, this particular Sahabi, he taught Nabi, what I asked was, إنما أموالكم وأولادكم فتنة. Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran that really your wealth and your children are a test for you. They are a trial for you. They are a tribulation for you. So he thought he's speaking about that verse. What does that verse mean? إنما أموالكم وأولادكم فتنة. Do you know what it means? Allah gives you this through your children in the world. So what does it mean? Yes, there's a good translation, mashallah. What is the meaning of that? What's the whole verse? إنما أموالكم وأولادكم فتنة والله عنده أجر عظيم. What's the meaning of that verse? Test you through your children. Yes, okay, this he can test you. How does he test you, your children, your family? Okay, you're saying you're giving a ambiguous, but maybe I'm looking for you must tell me examples. How are you tested through your wealth and your children? You are tested through your children in various ways. You've been fitna. Simple example, you don't want to go in jihad. You say, oh, my children are so small. If I go in jihad and I die, what is going to happen to me? There's also there's a verse of Quran. إذا قيل لكم انفروا في سبيل الله ثاقلتم أرضيتم بالحياة الدنيا الآخرة. Or maybe you don't want to go in jihad. You don't want to go in Jamaat. Maybe now is a busy time in a shop. Or like maybe you're a farmer, the crops are going to be harvested. That's why the time of Tabuk, it was a very, very difficult battle because it was hot. And the Sahaba Ikram before this, they had very poor crops. And now the fruit were ready to be, or the harvest was ready. Remember, Medina was an agrarian society. The crops will be ready to harvested. And so they were very reluctant to go, but they went. Like, or you tell yourself, if I go jihad and I die now, what's going to happen to my wife? I got a young wife, I got children. Who's going to look after them? What's going to happen to them? Right? Or you got your test. Are you saying that your wife and your children is a test? You know, you got money. Now, I can't give so much of this money in charity. You know, I have to keep some money for my children. What's going to happen if I give everything in charity? If I give so much in charity, my children are going to be hungry, etc., etc. So you are tested. So what is saying? In simple words, what the verse is saying is your commitment towards your religion, to your obligations, it will be tested through your family, through your children. And many times, your excessive love for them will be a cause of you neglecting your duties to Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in simple words, that's what I gave us examples. That was I gave examples. But in simple words, you know, say, what does this verse mean? This means that your commitment to Allah and His Rasul will be tested through the medium of your family, your wealth. Your wife said, don't go to Fajr today. It's so cold. Just lay with me in the bed here. My toes are cold. I keep my toes warm in the bed. Don't go to the mosque for Fajr. And I said, no, I'm going to the masjid no matter what. So your commitment to or your obligations to Allah and His Rasul will be tested towards your children. Your baby, your wife say, no, it's so ice cold. Don't go to madrasa today, man. Just lay here in the bed here. Let's lay on a boat. We just lay here. We don't go to madrasa. Just stay here. Just tell him if you know you are sick, or just tell him, nah, this car was broken, or this, or this, or this, or this. So that's your commitment will be tested. Like that can be applied, like maybe in jihad, whatever. Or maybe any let's buy this thing here, we only drive this old car, look at all the other people, they're driving nice cars. I was going to say, but I can't afford to say, but okay, we can take it on higher purchase, we can take it on interest, we can take it on, but yeah, interest is haram, yeah, but I can't drive this old car. So, innama amwalukum wa awladukum fitna. So are you going to give precedence to the command of Allah Ta'ala? Are you going to give precedence to the order of Allah Ta'ala, or are you going to give precedence to the pressure that your family is putting in? Anyway, so this Sahabi taught us, Umar was speaking about this, so he said, Fitnatu rajulu fi ahlihi. So test of a person with regards to his family, wa malihi, his wealth, wa nafsihi, himself else. Sometimes he feels like, hey, I can't spend this money, I want to keep this money, maybe for a rainy day, whatever, I can't give in charity, despite the people in Gaza being suffering, they're dying. Wa jarihi. This is يكفرها الصيام والصلاة والصدقة والأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. Remember this verse of Quran, إن الحسنات يذهبن السيئات. That good deeds, they take away bad deeds. So you make a mistake, you do something haram, so you make tawbah and you follow that up with good. That will be a means of expiation. It's a kafara for your sins. What is it? It's a kafara for your sins, right? So فقال عمر, well, what you are saying is correct 100%. And I said, but ليس هذا أريد. This is not the one I want. I want the one about Kitabul Fitan, the one that Abdul Rashid is studying and Ismail is studying that one day. The one Ismail is sometimes there, sometimes not there. That's the one we have to study, right? أريد إنما أريد التي تموج كموج البحر. I want the one that will come like the waves of the ocean. Macha yamuj, like how the waves come, right? It will come. So because if you study this chapter, you will see once it starts, it comes in quick succession, right? أريد التي تموج, it comes like waves كموج البحر, like the waves of the ocean. قال قلت ما لك ولها يا أمير المؤمنين أو أمير المؤمنين. So this is very interesting. Why are you so interested in this? Why are you so interested? إن بينك وبينها بابا مغلقا. Between you and that is a door. Remember I told you, I mentioned this before, that Umar was that firm door that was, as long he was, remember, Shaykhain, we say Shaykhain as Abu Bakr and Umar, they didn't operate on fatwa, they operated on taqwa. They never operate on fatwa, not this is permissible, that is permissible, so we can do it. They operated on taqwa. That is why their era was so glorious. Their era, nobody could point a finger at them. Nobody could point a finger at them. When the Muslim empire started expanding rapidly, as I'm quoting you from Salabi's book. So somebody came from one of the outlaws. He thought now the Muslim army is getting so much traction. He wanted to meet as Abu Bakr. He thought he'll come and meet now like a king. He came to Masjid al-Nabawi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the Masjid al-Nabawi sallallahu sand floor, jade palm roof, and in one corner he saw a weak person, thin person, simple clothes. He said, "This is our leader. This is your leader. This is your king." And he was shocked. Couldn't believe it. That this is the ruler of the army that's conquering the whole of Arabia. So much booty is coming in, but he's living such a simple life. He was shocked. So I tell you, they were operating with taqwa, not with fatwa. So that is why when they were there was no chance for fitna. There was no chance for fitna even to raise ugly head. He said, "Inna bainaka wa bainaha baban mughlaqan." We heard from Rasulullah that you are going to be the hijab. You are going to be the stopper from the fitna. While if you are there, no fitna will come. لا يخدع. You don't deceive. ولا يخدع. That means you're pious. ولا يخدع. And nobody can deceive you. He says, قال ويكسر الباب أو يفتح. He said, will the door break or will it be open? Interesting. What does it mean, will the door break? Will it be open? Break means it has been forcefully broken. And when something is broken, it's very difficult to close it. But when you open something nicely, you can close it again. That's what I'm saying. So if it's going to be open nicely, it means it can be closed after that. And that means you're going to have like what you say, a natural death. But if it will be broken, that means it will come at the hand of somebody else. Somebody else will kill you, right? So he said, now the door will be broken, right? That is more appropriate, right? Allah yughlaq abadan. There is more Allah yughlaq. When after it's broken, when something is broken, like if this door you come with a key, you open it nicely. When you finish, you close it again, and then you go. But if you come and you don't have the key, and you come, you time the door broken, you break the lock, you break the frame. Difficult to close after. They say even if it's broken, it won't be closed again after. And I told you that was the beginning of the fitan. Then was Uthman as Ali says, right? ذلك أحرى ألا يغرق أبدا. فقلنا لحذيفة هل كان عمر يعلم من الباب. So yeah, what he's saying is the Sahabi is narrating here that we used to say to Hazrat Hudhaifa, because Hazrat Hudhaifa was a master in eschatology. He knew all the hadith. قلنا لحذيفة هل كان عمر يعلم من الباب. Did you tell Umar that there's going to be I mean, you never tell us Umar there's a door, etc. But you just said that the door will be broken and that there is a door. Inna bainaka wa baina. You said inna bainaka wa bainaha baban. this is what you told him, that between you and between the fitna, there will be a door. But you never tell him he's the door. You never tell him. But did he know? Did he catch on that he was the door? So the other Sahaba Ikram or the other people are asking the Sahabi that you told him there's a door, but did he catch on he is the door? See, هل كان عمر يعلم من الباب? Did he know? He said, نعم. Yes, he knew that. Right? كما يعلم أن دون غد ليلة. He knew it like how he knows that after the day, tomorrow is night. Like how you know that tomorrow or today, after the day comes the night. It means absolute no doubt. You know with certainty that the night comes after the day. So Umar radiallahu anhu, he knew also that he is the door, right? إني حدثته حديثا ليس بالأغالات. So he says, really, I narrated to you a hadith that we know it is not mistakes, not fabrications. قال فهبنا أن نسأل حذيفة من الباب فقلنا لمسروق سله فسأله فقال عمر. So Sahaba Yahabu, so he's saying here that حدثوا حديثا ليس قال فهبنا أن نسأل. We, when we used to narrate this hadith, we used to be overawed to ask Al-Hudayfa, who is his door? So when we said to Masruq, Salhu, ask him, فسأله, then he asked Hudayfa, وقال Umar, and he said, this is Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He's the one, he's the door, right? I told you this, Sharia. As Umar was such a person that you couldn't bring stories to him. You had to bring your witnesses. And if you made stories by him, he would whack you even, right? So then I told you the next part of the hadith, what is, like, like I told you, I mentioned something like this. You know, they say, "Man mata faqad qamat qiyamatuhu." That person who passes away, then his qiyamah is started. So what does it mean? Like how, every one of us, one day we will stand in front of Allah Ta'ala and we will face the consequences of our actions, right? We discussed this in our tafsir also in detail. So that is what's called Qiyamatul Kubra. Qiyamatul Kubra. That the Qiyamah that everybody collectively will face. The Qiyamah that everybody collectively face. But everyone on an individual level, they will also face a Qiyamah. They will also, that's why I say, Mamata faqad qamat qiyamatu. When you die, when I die, I will also individually face the consequences of my actions. That means that's our belief. Remember, we discussed this in Babu Isbati Azab al-Qabri. We discussed it. So if I was good, I will have, I'll have a pleasant time in the barzakh. If I was bad, I will have a bad time in the barzakh, etc. So that is my mini qiyamah, so to say. So that is my mini qiyamah. So everybody in their life, they will face a mini qiyamah, which in the terms of fiqh is called qiyamatul sughra. That sughra is a feminine of asr, right? Right. And they will face, so the one that you face individual qiyamatul sughra, and then you get qiyamatul kubra, which is collectively. So same thing, what he's saying here, that every human being in his life, even if he doesn't love till to the times, 10 times, but he will also face a fitna. And so this is a fitna, sughra, so to say, that he will be tested with regards to his wife, his children, his wealth. Will he submit to their demands? Will he submit to their dictates? Or will he give precedence to the Sharia? And then obviously the Ummah collectively, the latter times, they will face the fitna kubra, you understood? So we learn from that, like how there's two types of qiyamah, there's also two types of fitan. One that every single one will face individually, and then what the ummah will face collectively. Right? So yeah, initially, as Hudayfa radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he thought, as Umar is speaking about that fitna. He said, no, that one I'm not asking about, the fitna of Amwal or Awlad. I'm asking about the other one, right? What of those Hudayfa was saying when he said, Inna baynaka wa baynaha baban mughlaqan, that you don't have to be too much concerned and worried about this because you won't really be affected by you. Allah Ta'ala, whilst you are alive through your barakah, etc., etc., Allah Ta'ala will keep it away. The same Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran with regard to وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُمْ وَأَنْتَ فِيهِمْ وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ مُعَذِّبِينَ. Allah Ta'ala tells Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Ta'ala won't punish you as long as you are amongst them. As long as you, Rasulullah sallam, or something similar like that, as long as Umar radiallahu ta'ala is among, that fitna will not play them, right? So this way, as Huzaifa was asked by, remember I told you most of the hadith you see about eschatology, you see the name of Huzaifa. Remember he mentioned in the hadith, I have such type of knowledge, if I had to divulge it, people, فَقُطِعَ هَذَا الْبُلْقُومِ, they will come and cut my throat because I know all the details of who the mischief mongers are. I know all the details. So he was the master in this. Like how different, as you know, you had you had the Sahaba Kram that were Qurra, you had the jurists, you had the ones that were good in giving children, etc. He was from amongst those that were good in remembering all the hadith of eschatology. So this I told you, when he said it, look, this door will be broken. The door being opened nicely referred to a natural death. And the door being broken, I told you, referred to being killed. And as you know, we'll do a bit more of this. Maybe it will come in the Mishkaat Shareef, but you want the full details. You look at Salami's book. Abu Lu'lu al-Majusi was a dagger maker. He was a Persian. He killed as Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhum. And the interesting thing is that as Umar, this was the fruit of the dua of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He used to make this dua, Allah marzuqni mautan fi baladi rasulik wa shahadatan fi sabilik. I want to die in the city of Rasul and I want to get a shahadat. So how is it possible that normally if you want shahadat, you have to go out into the battlefield. If you want shahadat, you have to go out into the battlefield. But yes, no, I want to die in the city of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and I want to die as a shaheed. And Allah Ta'ala gave him that. He gave him the honor of both. He died in the city of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. In fact, I think he was reading the Fajr Namaz or during the Fajr Namaz or after the Fajr Namaz. And then he was in the city of Rasulullah Sallallahu, and he got the Shahadat. So he got both things. So this was his accolade. So he used to make this dua often. So anyway, okay, reach one more hadith in the next chapter, inshallah.
أنس رضي الله عنه قال قد كنت بنية كافية بعد قال هذا.
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعن أنس قال فتح القسطنطينية مع قيام الساعة رواه الترمذي وقال هذا حديث غريب. He said that the conquest of Constantinople will come with the establishing of the final hour. Imam Tirmidhi narrates this and says it's a gharib hadith. We discussed this in detail before. We said that there are many hadiths allude to the fact that Constantinople will be conquered close to Qiyamah. So we can either understand two of the things. Either one is this here that the Muslims will lose it. And there are hadiths that speak even about, remember we done hadith, there's a right al-Amt al-Salah, which is close to Khaybar. Till there, that Muslim lands will be lost. So like this, it could be lost physically in the sense that, it is physically dominated and ruled. I told you, even if you look at, if you speak about the greater Israel, and even, the Israelis, the Zionists, they're not apologetic about it. They won't say it officially, like their leaders, they won't say it officially. But if you look at, the private individuals' posts and all that type of thing, they always dream about the greater Israel. And the greater Israel includes a portion of Saudi Arabia, a portion of Lebanon, and even includes a portion of Turkey. So it could be that it will physically come under the control. Or as I mentioned, if you look at today, most of the Sunni Arab world has been captured. You've got the Muslims ruling there, but they are totally impotent. They have been controlled by other forces. They are controlled by other forces. So that's why I tell you, when people speak about liberating the Muslim world, they say the first thing you have to do is you have to liberate the Muslim land from the puppet governments there. It's not possible that Muslims can be butchered, they can be massacred, and a Muslim can do nothing. This shows you they are totally impotent. They got no control. Alhamdulillah, that brings us to the end of that chapter. What was the name of that chapter? It was Kitabul what? Malahi, which was Jama Malhama. So the next book we will do is Babu Asrati Sa'ati. And basically, let's say translate like this. that chapter with regards to the signs of the final hour. Some ayat delivers, فَهَلْ يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَّا فَهَلْ يَنْظُرُ إِلَّا السَّاعَةَ أَنْ تَأْتِيَهُمْ بَغْتَةً فَقَدْ جَاءَ أَشْرَاطُهَا. Are they not waiting except for the final hour? Right? أَنْ تَأْتِيَهُمْ بَغْتَةً, it will come to them all of a sudden. فَقَدْ جَاءَ أَشْرَاطُهَا, while the sign has already come. In other words, what is stopping you from turning towards Allah Ta'ala? Primarily refer to the mushrikeen of Makkah. Why don't these people want to accept Islam? Why don't they want to come onto the deen? What is stopping them? Are they waiting for here? Like how you say, when are you going to change? Like you say, when are you going to change? Are you waiting to die first? But then it's too late. Then you can't change. So why don't these people want to accept Tawheed? Why don't they want to accept Risalat? Are they waiting for the final hour? Are they waiting for Qiyamah to come? Are they waiting for the angels to come from the heavens? Or are they waiting for the Rasul to? But then it's too late. Then it's too late. Then you can't do anything. So same thing. هل ينظرون إلا الساعة أن تأتي بغتة فقد جاء أشراطها. أشراط is a jama of sharatun. And sharat means like a sign. A sign means something that points to something else. Like how you arrive on the road, you see the word stop sign. The sign to show you that you must stop here, right? Or khafid surat. You go to Saudi, you see, khafid. Lower your speed is a sign. So in this chapter, we're going to discuss in this particular chapter more so the signs that are closer to Qiyamah. Remember I told you the death of Nabi Sallallahu was the first sign until before the Mahdi, that is Alamat Suhra. Then the Zuhur, the appearance of the Mahdi, which will so to say herald, it will usher in the Alamat Kubra. Now things will happen quickly, things will happen rapidly. I told you even the birth of Nabi Sallallahu was a sign that now Qiyamah is close, because under the final prophet never come, Qiyamah, the world could not come to an end, right? So if you look at the word Sa'ah, like how in English, also we say that the day got 24 hours. The day got 24 hours. And one portion of the 24 is called a Sa'ah, which we term like an hour or something. But also the Sa'ah, that's now like the technical. The Sa'ah also has like you say, a figurative meaning, which just means like a general time. Like you say, انتظر ساعة انتظر ساعة دقيقة يا أخي, refers to a unknown brief time. So here also we see in the hadith also that the word sa is referred to that ambiguous moment when Qiyamah will come. This honor. That is why there's a hadith also where one Sahabi said, Mata Sa'a, or in fact in the hadith of Jibreel, in the beginning, that Jibreel asked Mata Sa'a, what the word Nabi Sallam replied with? Mal mas'ulu anhu bi'ala min as-sa'il. Some other ma a'dadda laha, you asking when is Qiyamah? What preparations? Did you make any preparations? Did you do any good deeds? Right? So if you look here, this Bab is more going to speak about, so to say, the letter from what you say, Al-Amat Kubra, but because the hadith, it's not like Nabi and some hadith just mentioned the Kubra and the Sughra, I mentioned together. So it will happen that sometimes you'll find interspersed. Some places you find here's the Kubra, sometimes the Sughra, etc. Right? So as I said, it's ulama that you put it into chronological order. But remember that till before the Mahdi is Sughra and from the 8 is Kubra. Okay, Reed, I see our time is almost up. We can do one hadith at least, inshallah.
من أشراط الساعة أن يرفع القلب ويسجد كل قلب ويكسر الحساب حتى يكون 50 امرأة طيب واحد ويستقل ويظهر
Okay. Bismillah, interesting hadith. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعن أنس رأيتنا صارت أنس سمعت رسول يقول إن من أشراط الساعة. So yeah, so he's not giving any particular order, but he's just saying as these things become more rampant, then now you are moving closer towards Qiyamah. Inna min ashra ay yurfa al-ilmu, that knowledge here, when you speak about knowledge, usage of, but today there are more kitabs are being published than ever before. Yeah, at the press of a button, you can even get so many fatwa. You can, there's so many books that is, yeah, we speak about knowledge, authentic knowledge that is coupled with amal. إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء. So authentic ulama that that propagate orthodox through Sunni Islam and they practice upon it, right? They will be less. And I told you what the Vidana's hadith, Inna Allah la yantazilu ilma intizan lakin yantazilu biqabd al-ulama. So that you say, you wake up one day and you see all the pages are blank, or the Qur'ans are blank, or the pages have been lifted up to the sky. But Allah Ta'ala slowly takes away those through ulama that practice on what they preach. Those through ulama that practice upon what they preach. There will be a dearth, DEARTH, a shortage of them, right? وَيَكْثَرُ الْجَهْلُ, and there will be ignorance. People won't know, and we done this in detail. You know that you said that hadith under it. وَاتَّخَذُوا رُؤُوسًا جُهَالًا, they will take his rulers, ignorant people, and they say فَضَلُّوا وَأَضَلُّوا. These so-called ulama, these people in charge, they will be misguided and will misguide other people. So فَضَلُّوا وَأَضَلُّوا, right? Then وَيَكْثُرُ الزِّنَا, zina will become rampant. It will become common. I just saw now, maybe about a few weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago, there was a legal edict passed in one of the South American countries, America, I don't know, Mexico or something. They say the law is just that it is permissible to engage in this type of behavior in public as long as you're not disturbing anybody. So you can do it in open public so long as you're not disturbing anybody. So that is what is a hadith also will come across here, that when Nabi Sallallahu said that close to Qiyamah, people will be engaged in immorality in public view, like how donkeys engage. The donkeys don't have all, they don't have that amount of intellect, they have limited intellect. So obviously, you understand from this here, the higher the level of intellect, the more shame you have. You see a donkey doesn't have so much intellect. That's why even in English you say you are stupid like a donkey. If someone's stupid, you say donkey, you're stupid. So the donkey doesn't have, his intellect is not very advanced. His intellect is not very advanced. So the lesser intellect you got, the lesser shame you got. In Arabic we say shukur, perception. So this shows you that the person's level of intellect, it is in relation to the amount of modesty and shame you have. But nowadays the West, they think that the less shame you got, the more immoral you are, the more of your clothes you take off. That's a sign of progress. So when they see people like, they see Muslim people that are covered up, the ladies are covered up, their face is covered up, their hair is covered up, then according to them, these people are not progressive, they are backwards. But what we understand is that to be shameful, to be bashful, that is a sign of true progression. That's a sign of true intelligence. Anyway, so وَيَكْثُرُ zina, so I was telling you, this legal ethic is in past. It's permissible to do it in public as long as you don't inconvenience anybody. وَيَكْثُرُ شُرُبُ الْخَمْرِ, then the drinking of alcohol will become rampant. Nowadays, people will do it shamelessly. And even now, you see, even in the Muslim countries now, it's been introduced with the pretext that this is not only for the tourists, but that's a starting point, right? وَيَقِلُّ الرِّجَالُ, and then the men will be lesser than the women. The proportion of men will be lesser than women. وَيَكْثُرُ النِّسَاءُ, and closer to Qiyamah, women will be more. حَتَّى يَكُونَ لِخَمْسِينَ مَرْأَةً الْقَيِّمُ الْوَاحِدَةِ, until there will be for 50 women al-qayyim one caregiver. That was a person have to look after his wife, maybe got 2-3 of his daughters, then his mother, his mother-in-law, his aunts, etc., etc. This could even maybe refer to, come to my mind. Remember, we said in those al-malahamatul uzma, al-malahamatul kubra, so many people will pass away in jihad. So maybe, and then what we said was hatta yuta'adu banul abi. Remember that the children of one father, and from every 100, one will remain. So obviously the one that remains you'll have to look after all the other people, right? وفي رواية يقل العلم ويظهر الجهل. Another riwayat says through authentic knowledge there will be a shortage ويظهر الجهل, and ignorance will be rampant. Okay, time is up. We stop there. We will switch over now, inshallah. I'll put on the